Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. I am here on the ninth day. I've saved up and I'm ready to go to bed. As soon as we wake up on the 10th, we're going to get interrupted and we're going to have to go through some dialogue for the story. So we'll do that, but before I do, I just want to make a small correction. A couple of videos ago I said that the supply shed here, as the default, will hold 999 lumber and 999 stone. But when I tried to put my stone that I've collected into the shed here, it wouldn't let me. So it appears that the default only allows you to store lumber. I do know that you have to upgrade to be able to hold golden lumber as well. So I guess you have to have an upgrade to hold stone, and I just forgot about it. Keeping in mind that I've been playing this game for ages, so, you know, I've had all these upgrades for a long time, so that's just something that I figured I would correct because it was an error on my part. And I will keep putting in lumber, and I'll see when that caps out, because it might also not cap out at 999, it might cap out sooner. Anywho, alright, with that little correction, let's go ahead and get into our next day. Oh no, oh no! It's terrible! Hurry to the meadow! You move really fast for an old guy, I'm just saying. Oh, everyone's here. I awoke this morning with the strangest feeling that I should come to the meadow. Wait. It looks like I'm not the only one either. How very curious. This is all very strange. I'm not sure if we should be worried. I've lived here a while, but I've never felt anything like I did this morning. I think it's got something to do with the shrine. Ghosts. I think the islands are trying to talk to us. The island must have told everyone to come here. Do you know why it would do that? No, it's an island. It's not sentient. It sounds like everyone felt something telling them to come to the meadow. Apparently. It's a real party up in here. This is all a bit strange. What do you think is going on? I heard a voice coming from the shrine. Maybe it's trying to tell us something. You notice how it's only the, like, older adults and the children? We're still missing a lot of villagers, but anyways, I guess the island could only call to, like, half of them. So go ahead and inspect the shrine. Please restore the islands. Hello, I'm Agate, the harvest sprite of the meadow. Did you hear that voice asking for your help? That's the voice of the islands. A long time ago, a huge earthquake struck the Sunshine Islands. Many of the islands sank deep beneath the waves. We harvest sprites built that shrine behind you in memory of the lost islands. But the islands aren't lost forever. If you can gather certain magical stones, we can use them to raise the islands. We can do it without you. Do you think you can help us? Great, you'll need to gather sunstones. Sunstones are rocks that have the power of the sun stored inside of them. If you can bring the stones to me, I can use their power to raise the islands. The stones are well hidden, though. It'll take all of your skill to find them. Who are you talking to? Ah, yes. Only you can see us harvest sprites. You'll have to explain all of that to Taro. In typical Harvest Moon fashion, only the harvest sprites appear to the main protagonist usually. I wonder, could this be what you're looking for? Wow, that's it! That's a sunstone! I found it the other day. How convenient. Go ahead and take it. I'll let you know if I find any more sunstones. But you should start by looking for them all over the different islands. Okay. So that's basically our story of this game in a nutshell. There are 100 of these things to find, so if you're able to find all 100, you will raise all of the islands, and that's pretty much completing the game's story, so to say. And 100 is a lot. It takes a very long time, and unless you have really careful planning, or you've played the game before, or you know a little bit about it, gathering those 100 stones is not an easy task. And please, 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 anybody who wants to play this, find the list of all the sunstones. You can find them on the internet, pretty much anywhere, and cross things off on the list as you go, because the game does not keep track of which stones you already have and which ones you don't. The only thing that you'll get are vague hints as to where to find your next stone, which are not always helpful. So make sure that you're crossing off which stones that you have as you go, otherwise it's really, really easy to lose track. And the worst thing in the world is getting to like 90 stones and not knowing that you're missing 10 and not knowing which 10 there are missing. So we are actually going to go and we're going to find all of the ones that are available to me right now. I'm also going to go ahead and water, but I should probably wait to hear from Taro first. Alright, so first sunstone on our ranch is attached to the windmill. You just go up to it and press A to inspect it. These sunstones are not stored in your inventory. They're not an inventory item, so don't worry about it taking up space. You can see here on the asset list that it's listed here with the rest of our statistics, and when you save the game with your diary, you'll also have them there as well. So we've got 1. We're going to go over to Harvest Sprite Island now. I guess I'll talk to the sprites while I'm here. And there is one to find here as well. And it is in this little soil area on the back fence. So that's our 3rd sunstone. And next, we're going to take the boat going over towards Lighthouse Island. That was the little island we visited earlier, and I explained that it has virtually no use except for now, because it has a sunstone for us. I don't exactly remember where this one is, so I'm going to have to feel around a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's on the back wall somewhere. So I'm just going to tap A on every part of the wall until I find it. There it is. And now I will probably never come back to this island again. You can fish here, but other than that, it has virtually no purpose, and it has no purpose throughout the rest of the game. I'll talk to Taro and get a weather report. If it's raining tomorrow, I won't bother watering. And it is gonna drizzle tomorrow. Alright, so I'm not gonna bother watering the rest of those plants. I don't think it's gonna kill those 3 potato plants, but I better not water anymore just in case. Go ahead and talk to everybody. Because there's only like 2 more sunstones I can get right now, I think, so. You'll find them on various islands. You'll find them from befriending villagers and giving them gifts as well, which is why I said it's so important to befriend villagers, because most villagers have 2 sunstones. Some of them only have 1, and some have 3. So a major chunk of your sunstones are going to come from the inhabitants of the island. Gonna give Julia and Mirabelle some gifts while I'm here. I just bought this pet food from her store for, you know, $10 each. Which makes super easy gifts for these guys. And I think I can also give these to Vaughn as well, but because Vaughn doesn't come to the island that often, I'm not sure when he's gonna start accepting gifts from me, so I'll just have to keep an eye on that. Oh, right. I don't want to talk to you about Wonderfuls right now, Charlie, but do I have to? Do I have to do this right now? Oh, that's annoying. I just wanted to talk to him. I'm done with instructions. Okay. That's a bit of a pain that I'm missing out on that, like, tutorial, because I think he probably would have had a really good tutorial for us. But we can always look at our notebook and check that out later. Our next sunstone on this island is in this bush located between Chen and Mirabelle's. And we're gonna hop on over to the next island now. And we are able to get one more sunstone. I can try and give this to Vaughn. I don't think he'll take it from me though. Oh, he will. Oh, surprising. Okay, cool. So I've now got some gifts for him when he comes on Mondays and Tuesdays, which is nice. I guess I can give Sabrina my last flower. And our last sunstone we're going to be collecting is in the well, next to Ganon's shop. So that gives us a few to start out with. We can't really do much with that amount of sunstones, but it's a start. And most likely the next chunk of sunstones are going to come from befriending villagers and giving them gifts. Those are usually the two ways that you get sunstones from them. If you give them a few gifts that they like, you'll be able to get a stone from that. And if you befriend them to, I do believe it's only 2 hearts, you'll also get a sunstone for that. So while socializing is a really, really important part of this game, once you've gotten the sunstones from people, if you're really not interested in talking to them, then you don't have to after that point. You can just pretty much ignore them, so there is a good and a bad to that aspect of it. Now that we've got a couple sunstones to get us started and we've done our socializing, let's go ahead and take the boat on over to Meadow Island, which is where the shrine is. The more times that we take Kurt's boat as well, we have a chance to get sunstones from our boat rides, so that'll happen at random. So after you've been collecting sunstones for a little while, you can come back to the shrine at Meadow Island at any time and use the stones that you found to raise the islands. We only have enough to raise one island right now, and I also don't have the supplies to make it worthwhile to raise this island at the moment. Basically, Link Island allows for us to gain access to 3 additional islands, but you have to build bridges using lumber to each of those 3 islands, which is very, very expensive, and it costs a lot of materials, especially early on in the game. So using 3 sunstones to raise Link Island does nothing. It doesn't give you any additional sunstones, and you have to build before you're able to go any further. So we will probably save Link Island for later. Mystic Islands is going to be one of our top priorities, as well as Mushroom Island, and Volcano Island is another good one to raise. These 3 islands here, Volcano, Mushroom, and Mystic, are the 3 islands that we need to raise in order to get access to all of the villagers that are available in the game. So it'll allow us to meet the rest of our marriage candidates, any additional visitors, and it unlocks a lot of other functions and features as well. So even though these 3 are very, very expensive, they're definitely the most important. And the Wild Animal Island is just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I have to do it eventually, and there is a little bit of use for this, and it does have 1 sunstone on it, but it's not a top priority by any means. So we're gonna need at least 8 before we can do anything. And if you use the talk option while you're here, he will give you hints and clues as to where to find sunstones. So right now he's telling me that there's sunstones on the islands. Try looking near the fields on Harvest Sprite Island. I'm not sure why he said that, because I got the sunstone on Harvest Sprite Island. To my knowledge, there's only 1. So that's why it's important to keep track of all the sunstones that you've gotten, because all you'll get are vague clues like that. That's all you'll get. You won't get anything really concrete. That's pretty much all the work I wanted to do today. Because it's raining tomorrow, I don't want to overwater these crops. I'll just leave them to get some more sun, and I'll water them on the 12th probably. I've got a lot of stamina. I could potentially chop down some trees. I could also put rocks on my property. It's kind of a bummer now though, because I've got all this material stone in my pocket, and I've got all of these rocks as well, but I can't put my stone into the supply shed apparently. I guess that's one thing I can do, is I can go to Ganon's shop and see what an upgrade would cost. An upgrade to be able to put stone in there. Because at this point, I can't afford to really have inventory space being eaten up. So let's see if it's an option available for us. Upgrade supply shed. 500 lumber and $5,000 to upgrade its capacity, which is pretty ouch. And even more money to allow it to hold on to material stone, which is brutal. 500 lumber takes quite a while to get. When you consider the fact, you know, that we're going to want to use lumber for things like our barn and our chicken coop and all of that stuff as well. And right now we are having to resort to just getting 1 piece for every branch that we chop. Later on in the game, there are ways for us to be able to get more than 1 piece of lumber at a time, which is great, and it really, really speeds the process up, but that's not going to be for quite some time. So I'll probably hold off on really doing much with stone right now, because I don't have a great place to store anything, and I'm pretty caught up with my lumber. As you can see here, my field is mostly stone. And all the places in town mostly just have stone. So I'll probably just keep stockpiling it here and continuing to use it for gifts for certain people, but I'm kind of stuck with it now in my inventory, which is kind of a shame. I've got quite a bit of it as well. that's pretty much it for me. You can see that I've got to eat again soon. I guess I can eat one of these herbs in my inventory. I'll eat a couple of these. Stave off the hunger a little bit, even though that doesn't really help a ton. It's Mirabelle's birthday tomorrow. I'll have to remember to give her something. I'm gonna go ahead and save my game. And when I save, you'll see that it will update the amount of sunstones that I own. And it'll keep track for me. And it also only keeps track of the sunstones that you currently have on you. So if I hypothetically had 20 sunstones on me that I had gotten from various sources, and I went to the shrine to raise Mushroom Island, for example, which costs 12 stones. It would show me as only having 8 stones because I spent 12. Unfortunately, the stone total that you have on your asset menu and on the main menu are only what you haven't spent. So that's another reason it's really important to keep track of all your stones. Because if you've gotten 60 and spent all of them, they're going to show you as having 0. Anyways, that's about it for my explanations and what it is that I have to say. I think I've given a lot of information out once again today. So I'll probably have to play for a couple days until something else really fun and exciting happens, because now we've gotten past a lot of the tutorial. And now we're just trying to hunt down those sunstones and go from there. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.